I'm going to try to make something every day. Now, some things I'll make, okay, I've made that before, but I'm going to modify it and make it differently. But there are a few things I really want to try that I've never, ever made before. And so I think that could be a lot of fun. Well, I had my first idea today. My wife came home from the grocery store while I was doing my work, and she bought one of these. It's kind of curved funny, but this is a French baguette. Oui, oui, mon chou, a French baguette. And it's French bread, like these good crusty. And I said to her, I bet I could make that. It's chewy, but I bet I could make it. So I looked up the recipe, did my research, gathered my materials, and now, for your viewing pleasure, Jeff Eller is making French bread. I gathered my ingredients. That's the first thing. I need some water. I haven't measured it. I just got some in the cup. I need some bread flour. Flour de bread. I need kosher salt. Kosher salt. Remember this box? Somebody at one of the schools tore open the top and I had to tape it up, but still good salt. Kosher salt. How many ingredients is that? That's 1, 2, 3. Oh, only 4 ingredients, so that's kind of cool. Yeast. This stuff is alive. Or we're going to make it alive. Like Frankenstein, we're going to stick the electrodes to it and it's alive! So we're going to make some French bread. You ready? You think you can do it? All right, so I got my ingredients together and I went ahead and measured it. First ingredient was the easiest, and that was 1.5 teaspoons of yeast. Now, it comes in a package that's basically 1.5 teaspoons or 0.25 ounces, 1/4 of an ounce. 0.25 is a fourth, remember? So 1/4 of an ounce. Got that. I don't have to measure that. That's pre-measured for my convenience. Very nice of them. It also said I would need 1 3/4 ounce of warm water. And this is my little warm water measuring thing. If you look right inside there, if I tilt it, it won't be right, but you can see there are measuring lines inside there. When it's full, it holds about 2 ounces. So that's that. Warm water. I will need some cool water. 10 ounces. Now, 10 ounces kind of got me thrown off because 8 ounces is a cup, 16 ounces is a pint. But how much is 10 ounces? Well, I thought 8 ounces, that's a cup, right? So if I had a cup and then I had 1/4 of a cup, 1/4 of a cup, 8 divided by 4 would be 2. So 2 ounces. 2 ounces plus 8 ounces, 10 ounces. So I needed a cup, 1 cup. Here's like a 1 cup measuring. And then I needed 1/4 of a cup. So 1 1/4 cup is 10 ounces. So I did that conversion, made it pretty easy. Fortunately, my Pyrex measuring cup has a line that says 1 1/4. And I'm sure you can't read that, but trust me, I'm a teacher. All right. We're going to have a little Crystal Light while we're working. All right. So here we go. The next big ingredient was flour. And it says 16 ounces of flour. Now, most of the time when I make cookies or when I'm doing something, it says like a cup of flour or 2 cups of flour or 1 3/4 cups of flour. So it's always measured in cups. The problem with cups is that's a good volume measurement, but it's not the best weight measurement or mass measurement. So in America we use cups, but in other countries in cooking, usually they'll use weights. A lot of times they'll use grams, but this recipe gave it to me in ounces. So I need 16 ounces. Now, 16 ounces in volume is 2 cups. But now look at this, it's kind of interesting. So does that mean that if I fill this full, and I want to measure everything very carefully, will that be, that's a 1 cup measuring cup, so that'll be 8 ounces of flour. Now, is it completely packed tight? Or is flour something that's kind of like fluffed up? You know, which would weigh more? If I had a cup of water or a cup of flour? That's a good question. But I've got my scale set up, and you can't really see the scale because if I lift it up to you, I already measured it for the bowl. So I'm going to put 1 cup of flour in my bowl, and we'll guess. Anybody want to guess what that weighs? Wow, you nailed it right on. Good job, Carly. 5.3 ounces. So a cup Wonder what it'd weigh if I did. I'm not gonna do it. All right, so let's put a second one in. Okay, another cup of flour. That brings my total up to 9.9. And what I say, I had to be at 16, right? So far I got 2 cups. Can I put a 3rd cup in and be good? Yeah? Okay, I'm going to try it. We're trying to get to 16. There's cup number 3. And that takes me 1 pound, excuse me, 1 pound, 0.1 ounce. So I am 16.10 ounces. So watch this. I'm going to take away a little bit. That didn't do anything. Let's take away, oh, it made it 15.9. So let's tip it back in there. Pop, 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 powder, 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 flour, 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 flour. Go flour, go flour. 15.9 still. Come on, baby. Come on, let me see 16. Okay. It's weird. Maybe my scale's stuck. Oh, that went way over, so it's not stuck. Let me take some off. Now I'm at 1.09. I should have left with 1/10 of an ounce. Now I'm back to 15.9. Oh, started to say I nailed it. It went from 15.9, it went 16, and then it went 16.01. No! Yes! Perfect. I'm LeBron James. 16 ounces exactly. I'm going to use this. We're going to sift our flour to make it light and fluffy, but it's still, even if it's got more air in it, which is what the sifter does, breaks up the clumps and puts a little more air in it, it's still going to weigh exactly 16 ounces if I don't spill any. Salt. We put 2 teaspoons of salt in my nice small little bowl, and it said to take the salt and mix it in with the flour. So we're going to do that. Got my handy dandy bread, the salt, the flour to whiskey. Not whiskey, it's whisking. There we go. All right. Nice. All right. Then it said to take my warm water, 110 to 115 degrees Fahrenheit, pour it in a small bowl. All right. And then the cool thing is we're going to put our yeast on top of our water, and we're going to let it sit a while. Basically, we're trying to let the yeast come alive. You know, you've been sleeping a long time and you get in a nice hot warm shower and it wakes you up. That's what's happening here. We'll just give that a little stirry stir. Let's use our teaspoon. We can stir him up. Get all those guys. Get in your nice warm shower, little yeasty boys. Yeasty boys. That's an old rap group from my day. All right. They're mixing, waking up. Ew. I did wash my hands like many times. Get in there. All right, I think we got him. Had to beat him a little bit. All right, now we're supposed to set that aside. And we gotta let that set for, what's it say? Let it sit. It's just to wait a little bit. So we're gonna have to wait a little bit. So I'm gonna have a drink of my Crystal Light. Pomegranate is something my wife gets. Sometimes they're good, sometimes this is good. Hey yeasties, how you guys doing? Did you have a good nap in there? You know? You're the best little yeasties. Yes, you are. Good boys and girls. Wakey, wakey. Oh, hey, you're back. We've let our yeast kind of dissolve in its warm water. And the next thing we need to do, it says to create a well in your flour. Well, that's a deep subject. All right. Here's my flour in my bowl. White flour in a white bowl makes it real easy to see, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the bottom of my cup, and I'm just going to make like a crater. Whoops, I made too much of a crater. Let's stir that up. So he kind of looks like a volcano-ish. All right. So we are going to, I'm going to keep giving him a stir because I don't want anybody to stay in there. We're going to pour him right down in the hole. Hi guys. Dear yeast, meet the flour. They're going to be best friends. All right. Keep cleaning my mess as we go. All right, it says, and stir in the dissolved yeast. So we're going to stir that in to all the other flour. Now remember, that's only less than 2 ounces of water, 1 3/4 ounces of water. So it's not really going to completely mix with the flour. That's what our other flour's for, our other water's for. But it is starting to get, you can see where there's like some little crumbly lumpies. Crumbly, say hi crumbly lumpies. We got some nice crumbly lumpies there. Shake it all about. You do the French baguette and you turn yourself about. All right, here we go. You know, we should have music on in the background. My refrigerator plays music. Might have to do that. All right, next break we'll have music. All right, so we're stirring that. Now, next it says, add the cool water. A little bit at a time. And check this out. Just until a shaggy dough has formed. Let's see what shaggy looks like. Put some of it in, set him down, and we'll get back to stirring. Hopefully now it should lump up a little more. A little harder to stir. Shaggy? Scooby-Doo! I don't see much shaggy yet. All right. That's a little at a time. Let's add a little more wah-wah. Agua. O. I was doing a crossword puzzle yesterday, and it's French water. O, E-A-U. Not O like O or O-H, but E-A-U. Eau de toilette is like French for toilet water. Actually, it's French for like cologne, smelly water. Like toilets wouldn't be smelly water. All right. Here we go. We're getting closer. See how it's just starting. Oh, that kind of looks shaggy, doesn't it? Shaggy. But I'm going to put in almost all my water. Got a little bit left if I need it. And let's see if we can get it all to come together and make a dough. What I'm looking for is I don't want like a lot of flour left in the pan or in the bowl. I want like one glob. Coming together as one. All right, our yeast and our flour are not practicing social distancing, which is fine because they're family. You know, you don't have to stay 6 feet away from your mama unless she gets the flu, and then do that, but give your mama a good hug and a kiss because she deserves it. Probably your daddy too. Oh, this is getting hard to do. But I am liking the shagginess. What do you think about the shagginess? Give me a thumbs up for shaggy. Shaggy! There's a, is he a rapper? A Jamaican guy? A guy named Shaggy. Seems Mr. Bombastic. Feeling fantastic. Alright, don't recommend it, but whatever. Alright, shaggy dough in the bowl. A little bit of fingers just to get that last little bit. Now the next part is the most exciting part. We have to cover the bowl with plastic wrap. Plastic wrap does not like me. And we're going to cover our bowl, and it says to cover it for 30 minutes. Check my timer. I don't have an Alexa in this room, or I'd say, Alexa, set a timer. Oh, I got my phone. All right, watch this. Hey Siri, set a timer for 30 minutes.
I'm on it.
She's
Okay.
on it.
30
Okay.
minutes and counting.
See? Whoops. We're counting. Only 29 minutes, 50 seconds to go. All right, see you in 30 minutes. Nice and covered. Why don't you cling wrap? You cling for other people. Is it personal? And I wonder, can you guess what might happen to our dough in 30 minutes? I'm gonna put another piece on there. I'm just gonna I'm gonna plasticize that dude to pieces. Why doesn't it rip? My wife's a really good plastic ripper. Me, it's not my skill set. There we go. Doesn't say it has to be waterproof, does it? Okay, friends, 30 minutes ago we let our dough rest. You feel better? We are so really well rested. Yep, it's rested. Okay, next thing we got to do, it says to put your dough out on a well-floured surface. So I'm going to flour my surface. Pretty. Flour, flour, flour. And then we're going to turn him out. Set him upside down. We'll coax him out of the bowl. There. Nice and neat and perfecto. Alright, this part gets really sticky. I'm going to ask my lovely assistant if she'll wash my bowl for me.
I will do one better. I'll get you
Please.
one.
I wanted to use this bowl though.
Oh.
I like this bowl.
Well, you can't see.
Alright, yeah, give me another bowl. Give me one that's not white. That's smart. We complained about that earlier, didn't we, people? Alright. Well floured. And it said to take my dough
It's good?
and yeah, well, yeah. Alright, it says to transfer dough to a lightly floured work surface and gently press it into a rectangle and fold it into thirds. Alright, so we're going to gently press it into a nice, pretty, and it's sticky, so I'm going to keep the flour on my hand. Nice, pretty rectangle. Could be a square because a square is a rectangle. Alright, so we've done that, and now it says to fold it into thirds. So I'm going to fold it that way. I'm going to fold it that way. And then it says to turn it 90 degrees. We all know 90 degrees is. Flip it over. Still, pat it down just a little bit more. And I'm going to do that again. I'm going to fold it into thirds. One over there. One back over here. All right. Let's see. Blah, blah, blah. Plus and erect, fold into thirds. Turn 90 degrees and repeat. Place the dough in a large oiled bowl. Can I get some oil in my, well, can I get my bowl? Him in my bowl, please, assistant. And I will get some oil.
There you go.
Fancy canola oil. Not sure how many canolas it takes to make a canola oil. So we put that in there, and we're gonna. Wonder if that's enough. Let's get it all nice and oiled around. This is not a job for the clean hands. Well, I mean they're clean because I did wash my hands.
You're not
But-
food service,
It's not a job to keep your hands clean. You're gonna get them gross, like oily, sticky. Dare me to lick them off? It's canola oil. It's food grade. It's good. Put it in your beard. Keep your beard. The end of that last video cut off a little bit. So what we did, we took that well-oiled bowl. I put my dough in there. Put my plastic wrap back on top, and then I took it and put it in a warm place. Our little stove has a drawer at the bottom. He's hiding down in there. And that'll be a nice little warm place for it, where it's going to sit for 2 hours until it doubles in size. I don't know if you remember, it is definitely more than twice the size it was. So that, we'll call that a win-win, win-win. All right. So next up, we need a preheater oven. Well, do we need a preheater oven yet? No, we don't need a preheater oven just yet. We're going to remove the plastic wrap. And we are supposed to now, we let it rise for 1 to 2 hours. We did that. And we are supposed to divide the dough into 4 equal portions. Let me grab my board. Whoops. And it says 4 equal portions. So let's plop him out. I'll grab a big knife. And I'm going to cut him once this way. And once that way. It looks just like bread, doesn't it? So 4 equal portions. So we'll take our 4 equal portions. Is it going to stick to the board? Okay. Nice. 4 equal portions. And what do we do with them? Before equal portions, shape each one into a long loaf about 15 inches long and 1.5 inch in diameter with pointed ends. So how do we do that? Let's put our extras back in the oiled pan. Set you right on the end because I'm gonna need some space on my board, I think. So I'm rolling them out. I'm gonna get your camera down so we can see what's happening. And we'll roll him out. Just kind of rolling from the middle out. And it said to leave pointy ends. I guess that's important. Now, 15.5 inches. Kind of how good you are at estimating sizes. Can you get it right? The video cut off in the last part. So what I've done, I've rolled out my 4 loaves, equal size loaves, all about 15.5 inches long, all with pointy ends. You'll notice they're not perfect, but have you ever seen homemade bread that was absolutely perfect? It doesn't exist, and that's okay. Now, here's what I'm looking at. I'm noticing that these loaves are getting flatter, you know, and I want them to be kind of roundish. So the next little part, it says I'm supposed to let them set for 30 to 45 minutes. And I thought, well, how can I do that? So here's what I've come up with. And this is where we make things. These are just strips of cardboard. That's actually from a shoebox. Now you said, well, it looks kind of dirty. Part of that is I had oily hands when I touched it. But I'm going to use this to help set and keep my bread in a nice shape. Actually, I don't think I need all 3. I don't need all 3 because I got a secret. It's a nice floured towel over top our grooves. All right, so we'll take loaf number 1, and he's going to be delicious. We're going to lay him right there in the channel. Loaf number 2, we'll do the exact same thing. Now I got a little bit of a trick for the others. I don't remember when, but I bought this thing, and this will help us when we're baking them too. This is a French bread pan, okay? And it's designed so you bake on it and it keeps things fresh. For this though, I'm supposed to put a little bit of oil. So I'm going to use my oil butter spray. Just kind of give him a good coating. Probably some on the floor too, won't tell anybody. So we'll put that, and then we're going to rest our 2 loaves, our last 2 loaves, right inside here. All right. Somehow that loaf seems a little bit bigger. So there we go. We're going to let these guys rest. Now, our recipe tells us for the next part, so all the dough had to prove and rise together. Now, let's see. Now, in the shape of the loaf, it needs to rise for another 30 to 45 minutes. So it's going to be a late night for me. I thought about putting it and just wait and make it in the morning, but I want to do this. All right. Then it said to take an oiled piece of plastic wrap, which we still have from the bowl. We'll lay that right on top. Right on top. We'll find a good place for that to rest. We'll do the same thing for that one, and I will see you in about all right, we're going to stick it in the happy oven. Come with us. Walking down through my kitchen. And there's the oven. Now, one of the things it did say to heat the oven to 450 degrees, which I've done, and to put hot boiling water in the bottom of the oven. So you see the 2 pans there. So we're going to slide this in right on the top shelf. They say the water is going to help give an even heat and help get a nice crunchy crust on my bread. So we'll see how that goes. I'm also going to go ahead and stick the other 2 in on a flat pan, and we'll see how much of a difference that curved pan makes. It's like experimenting, right? All right, see you in a few. All right, it's time for the final product. Nice, delicious. Baguette, B-A-G-U-E-T-T-E. One of the things they say, it should be crunchy on the outside. Yeah, you can play baseball with that guy. Break it open. Although you're supposed to let it cool down. It's cool. See the steam come out. Oh, delicious. Make something.